I booked a flight to Beijing and then my computer cut out. Rather than trying to redo all of that again, the whole entire 14 minutes apparently, I'm just gonna restart. You guys will get 2 separate blogs because I don't actually have a program on my computer currently that I can take videos and mash them together into a coherent long video. Like I said, technologically challenged just a little bit. Also, my computer is a Windows and it doesn't have a key code or some kind of code is missing, and it was supposed to be on the box and it wasn't. But I bought the computer at like a wholesale place here in China, so you get what you pay for. Let's be real. So I don't have any program to make movies on at all. So my options are very limited. Usually this is all done in one take, but I can't be bothered to repeat everything again. And I can't actually remember everything I just told you. So if I redid it, you would probably end up with less information than you would have if I just gave you 2 separate videos. So that being said, booked some flights to Beijing to go meet my parents. So my parents are getting here on the 17th of July. So right now we are getting really close. We're like the 2-week mark before they are on a plane flying to China. This will be the first time I've seen my parents in almost exactly 2 years. It's been, I think I left August 8th, 2 years ago. So it's been a long time since I've seen them, so I'm really excited. It'll be really nice to see them and hang out and actually get to go do things. I'll see the Great Wall for the first time, Terracotta Warriors for the first time, all these touristy things that I should have done, I never have. So I'm pretty excited about that, but I booked my flight to Beijing. We have flights booked to Xi'an now. We have flights booked to Jiangjiajie. I did not say that right at all. The mountains that were the basis for the movie Avatar. That's how everybody else will know them. And that's also where the giant glass bridges that cracked. That's something maybe everybody else knows about as well. Supposedly beautiful. So we have tickets booked there from Xi'an. And then Jiangjiajie. my LP would be so mad at me right now for not being able to say that. She's been trying to teach me pinyin. And I'm apparently failing miserably at that. So something to practice before I get there so I can say the name of the town we're going to. And then we also have tickets from there to Guangzhou booked. We got their hotels booked on out, ready. Like, I'm really excited. But anyway, back to June, because we're not there yet, not fully caught up. On the 21st, Walt came in, we had dinner, hung out like normal. And then on the 22nd, Paul, Ran, Walt, and myself, we ended up meeting up with each other, and we went out for dinner. And it was really nice. Like, it was good to get out of the house. It's always good to see your friends and everything like that. So we went out for some fish, which was really good. I really enjoyed the fish. Like, the last time, I didn't mind the beer fish in Yangshuo, but it was talked up a lot. There was a lot of hype about the fish, and it was just okay. This fish was talked up a bit, but it was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice time. And then we ended up back at Paul's house, where we all went to the roof for some drinks. I haven't done that in forever. It's been so long since we've been to the roof. It was so nice. I miss doing that. And unfortunately, my roof, it's not a nice place to sit. It's 50 floors up, and it's really windy, and there's a giant blinking light that is really loud for the planes, and just, it's not as comfortable as Paul's roof is comfortable. So unfortunately, I'll have to either find another rooftop, because Paul is going to be moving soon. He has left, or is leaving, I guess, Disney English for brand new chapter here in Guangzhou. So he'll still be around. I'll still get to see him. Although he is leaving for Thailand soon to go do some Muay Thai fighting. I'm hoping I have some time after my parents leave before I have to start work again. I'm hoping I have a little bit of money. I'm going to fly to Thailand again and go see him fight. probably going to see him get his ass kicked. But, you know, go be supportive anyway, despite what I think the outcome might be. Especially since he's going to be fighting people who've been practicing Muay Thai for probably all of their lives, considering they live in Thailand, but whatever. So we had a really nice night there with Paul and Rain. Got home really late, a lot later than anticipated or necessarily wanted, but that happens all the time when I hang out with Paul. I'm always home really late, or I end up crashing on his couch. So the next day we weren't really up to doing a whole lot, so we just stayed in. On the 28th, so the next weekend, this previous weekend that we just had, I had to stay up incredibly late. I don't know what I was thinking. I was all excited and was really ambitious, and I decided I was going to make some pulled pork for myself, Haley, Paul, Walt, and ended up being Joey for the next day because we were going to go to the beach. There's a fake beach here in Guangzhou. It's a pool with like a whole bunch of sand and stuff. It's really nice. But I wasn't able to get any actual meat, so Walt picked the meat up for me. But I wasn't able to get the meat obviously until Tuesday night from him, like 10:30 at night. And this pulled pork has to cook for like 6 hours. So I was up every 2 hours or so to turn my little oven back on to make sure that the pork cooked properly because I don't have a crock pot. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I guess. But I got it done. Everything from scratch. It turned out really well. And then the next day, got up early. We went to go lay on the beach. It was really nice. Got the pulled pork and hung out, went swimming. We stayed there for probably a good 5 hours, just kind of hanging around. At one point it did rain, but Guangzhou, it rains for a little bit and then usually it stops. So, and you're going to be in the water anyway, so you're going to get wet. So it was a really nice day. And then we ended up all going back to Paul's house. Haley had to leave us to go meet Eva. So Paul, Walt, Joey, and myself, we all ended up playing Settlers of Catan. Something, again, that I haven't done in a long time with them. But it was really nice. Got a lot more drunk than anticipated. A lot more alcohol than I had assumed we were going to consume before I left my house that morning. But Paul anticipated that and made sure that it happened. But we played a couple rounds of Settlers of Catan, and we ended up back home at around like 12:30-ish. So not terribly late. It was pretty good overall. And then that brings us back to our work week. So on the 30th, Walt and I just kind of hung out again in the house. Didn't do a whole lot of stuff. I ended up leaving him at one point. We caught up with Game of Thrones, finished the season. And then I left the house to go meet Drew and Haley so I could actually go buy some new pairs of shorts and new sandals. Destroyed my flip-flops on the way home from Paul's on the 29th. We got out of the cab and it just downpoured again. So we tried to make our way up to the house as fast as we can, but the ground, China, like I mentioned before, China has this thing about aesthetics. They like everything to look beautiful. And this includes their sidewalks. So their sidewalks are beautifully done, tiled sidewalks. It's the most dangerous thing when it's wet. It's like they're kind of planned to hurt people by building these sidewalks. They had to have planned to hurt people. This had to have been their main goal, is to break someone's leg one day. And then you realize, this is why everyone walks so slow in China, because they know if one misstep, they go down. They are treacherous. So you're trying to run on these terrible tile sidewalks, failing miserably in flip-flops with no grip whatsoever. And then the flip-flop kind of went in under itself like that, and then the toe part just ripped out. So I hobbled to my door in the pouring rain. I needed to go buy new flip-flops the next day as well. So I left Walt here, came back. We had some Indian and watched something. Can't remember what, so it was obviously not that memorable, but watched something. And then that brought us into our work week. So the next day was July 1st, Canada Day, which, happy Canada Day, belated Canada Day to all my friends and family back home in my wonderful country. Wish I could have been there. Not that we ever really did a whole lot to celebrate Canada Day, in my family at least. Fireworks if town had them, and go watch them. Though you're usually covered in mosquito bites, it was never anything huge. I feel like our town kind of waited for the rodeo, which was in August. I think that's like our big thing, is the rodeo. So they put a lot of their money towards that rather than the actual Canada Day. But I will admit there was some pride in being Canadian this year after knowing what's been going on in the rest of the world right now in their politics. It's kind of sad and disheartening a little. So it makes you really glad and really proud to be Canadian, knowing where our country sits right now politically. And it was a little sad not being home for that. Like, it's been so long since I've been back to Canada, and I just know, though, that I can't go home yet until I'm ready to be home, because the minute I get a taste of blue skies and fresh air and clean, drinkable tap water, coming back to China is going to be so much harder. And I still have a little ways yet to go in this country, which is completely by choice. I do like it here for the most part. There are days, and the job gets to you sometimes, but what job's not going to get to you, right? But overall, I do enjoy China. But I know that I miss Canada, so if I go home, coming back would be extremely difficult, and I'd probably go through like a dip, like a dark, depressive period of time where I hated everything and China was the worst country ever, and it would not end well for me. So I would rather spend my time and my money touring China and appreciating this country before I head home. So that's where I'm sitting right now. Happy 4th of July coming up to all my American friends back in home, I guess, in North America and here in China. Next weekend, we're going to have a 4th of July barbecue, a little Guangzhou family get-together kind of idea. So that's something that I can talk to you guys about the next time I do this for you. I don't know if I'll get to do a blog update until August now. I will attempt my best to do something before I leave to go meet my parents. I leave on the 17th of July to go to Beijing to meet up with them. I have a couple days before that to pack, so if a lot has happened between now and then, I will definitely do an update blog for you guys so that I don't leave you hanging for so long again. I will try my best, but again, I'm not promising anything. And then other than that, I will update you guys at the beginning of August before I have to go back to work. I have a good chunk of time off. I will force myself to sit down and do this for you, or take my camera out finally, since I have it working, and walk through the streets of Guangzhou so you can see my city while I'm talking to you guys at the same time. And I'll be that crazy person who's talking to my camera. And that's perfectly fine. I'm stared at anyway because I'm white. But that's all I have for you guys for now. Like I said, I'll try and get it updated if a lot happens. If not, I will see you guys after my parents head home from China. And I will have lots to tell you guys about that, because it's going to be a whirlwind 2-week trip with them all over the country, which I'm very excited about. I'm excited to see them. It's been a long time, and excited to see more of this country. So I will see you guys on the flip side, and thanks for watching.